Hello everyone, this is part 3 of our 180 replicating missile Spellbinder. We're doing quite well at the moment. Managed to reach Dead Man's Gulch. We're gonna proceed to Homestead. We already took some quests from here. Here is a very vitality heavy damage type of area. My vitality resistance okay. There is a two objectives here. I look for the shrine and I look for a Ecrix. As we said the last episode, treasure troves are quite good now. They have a chance for a second component and why guaranteed one material, sorry, not component. And again I got two. We got the shrine, which reminds me I didn't spend my last points. So we're gonna go for chariot. Extra armor and some proper resistances is always nice on a caster. And Spellbinder lacks a lot of armor. Also life pool is quite low. That's why picking up few defensive devotions is gonna help me a lot during leveling. Here is the objective. This is Ecrix. If you have to farm his medal, just don't finish this quest, don't click on the corpse. This is a very good tip, because this medal is one of the best basically retaliation leveling medals, especially if you are either a soldier or old keeper. If you are a warlord, this is probably the best you can put on. But I'm not gonna farm this, so I'm gonna finish my quest. But if you leave this corpse every time you reset the session, you're gonna have a marker for the quest on the minimap, and it's gonna be much easier for you to find him instead of check every single corner, because these guys have several spawning locations. Next rift is a very important. Be sure you took it, because you have to crawl in the cave again. If you forget that, then it's very easy to miss, because you can go straight forward. And I want to be able to unlock my Pine Barrens, because this is a very good boost to experience and also reputation to Homestead. Everything in Pine Barrens is a beasts or a beast skin. Also my offhand drops there. I aim for a stone grobles. They drop the offhand that gives me modifications to Panetti. This is not a bad armor piece. Comes with chaos resistance as implicit. Definitely pierce as well. Definitely a keeper. That's why I clear every single captain. They drop helm, that's very nice as well for an arcanist or soldier, and it's absolutely ideal for a battle mage. But it's gonna be a dream if it drops. Usually every time I need this helm it never drops to me. The boss that I'm gonna spawn now have a high chance to drop it. Unfortunately no, but that's okay, not big deal. Here we're gonna take the quest for a Homestead. This is Sayaredin. He is glad to see us, that's why very important to keep a good reputation with him. Don't shake him for money and definitely don't kill him. Actually, I'm gonna keep this medal, it's quite better than mine. Oops, I sell the armor. This medal's already low level. Let's go back. We have to teleport to Ulgrim. What we're gonna do at Homestead, basically they was crossing, they starving. Because Cronley's gang is basically destroy the bridge. And we have to basically recover the connections with Homestead, but Homestead wants some favors until they start to deliver some food and stuff back to Devil's Crossing. They want to help them with the infestation of these insects at their farms. So we're gonna play a little bit as an exterminator. I'm gonna kill some insects. There is a 3 lore notes here about Inquisitor Creed. And Ulgrim sent us to deal with the Black Legion. Black Legion is the most coolest faction in Grimdown. These guys are basically, if you ever watch this movie Suicide Squad, these guys is the same. These guys is the most elite Imperium army. They are basically a bunch of criminals, political outcasts and renegades. In a favor for their freedom, they have to serve the Imperium, but they are ruthless. Their methods are quite savage as well. These guys first shoot and then ask the questions. Absolutely badass. And they are the last hope for the humanity in Grimdown. And they actually fighting in 2 fronts. On the left they fight with the Ethereos, and on the right they fight with the Chthonic cult. And we're gonna help them. If situation is very bad, Imperium usually sends Black Legion. The name comes from the fact they are not a regular army. They are basically renegades, as I said, criminals, political outcasts. They are usually bad guys with badges. This area is heavy pierce damage and poison as well. Ethereal. So you have to check on your resistances, your armor values as well. These guys, they pierce through your armor, so here is a few objectives that I'm looking for. First one is a Dahlia's journal. It stays here on the house. After that, I have to check every single house. Usually I skip this quest, but this time I'm in a mood to do it. There is a corpse with a letter, but it's a completely random spawn in 3 different locations. Left part of Homestead is a very chill area, very good for boosting some levels and for a power spike as well. Very easy devotion, very easy fights. Everything here usually is very slow. Also, this area contains one of the most profitable quests in Grimdown, if not the most profitable one. This corpse can spawn here as well, I think. Not completely sure. But I'm gonna explore a little bit. This is the other house that it can spawn. No luck so far. Just be sure you explore a little bit more. Also, Darm patrons or whatever it calls, these insects, they are very good source of experience. They are always on a packs. Huge density. Directly south from the rift is, as I said, the most important quest for this area. It's very profitable, gives you tons of experience and the most rarest material probably in the vanilla game. This is Blood of Cthon. This girl is trapped, basically is possessed by a demon. This is Baloknat, he is the Hellfire General. He deals fire and chaos, but mostly fire. As you can see, 9k experience, a lot of reputation, very strangely to rovers, and piece of Blood of Cthon, which is always nice to have. This is gonna be some of the main materials late game. We're gonna finally unlock Spectral Rat. We're gonna focus on this for a quite while. If my damage start to falls off, I'm gonna go back to Arcanist, pump few points. This is the journal that explains everything about nightmares of this kid and how they decide to just lock it. There is another encounter here as well. It's a very random and normal is not very profitable, but you can do it in any other difficulty. These guys decide to ignore everybody at Homestead and set up their camp here, and they end up dead, and this basically all the vultures feast on their bodies. This is pretty random encounter, sometimes few hero spawns, sometimes none. There is a chest, a high tier one, not one shot, but still a good quality. And we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna check this house for the corpse. No luck so far. There is a couple left. But even if I can't find it, I'll just skip it. I don't like to backtrack for this quest, it's not so important. And this is the cask that I actually want. This cask give a lot of offensive and defensive ability, and especially this one is a lot better than mine. And it's time to craft a component. But for now probably I'm gonna put just a spectral rat. Ectoplasm, sorry. This totem is quite dangerous as well. Usually I don't recommend it all the time. It spawns these heavy guys. But usually this build is pretty safe. I think I miss house or two. I'm just gonna explore a little bit more this side. If you check GRIMTOOLS, you're gonna find it. I think there is a house over here and I miss it. But as I said, I'm not gonna backtrack for this quest. I'm just gonna leave it. It's completely optional. It's not so profitable anyways. It's just a one-shot chest and a little bit of experience. Not worth it the effort. But usually Grim Dawn is a game that rewards you if you explore more and more. This is the Royal Hive. This is what I'm looking for. This is extremely good Darmpetrian Slicer. Heart Piercing of Alacrity. This is a dream for leveling as a Pierce. Nightblade. All the good stuff dropped when I actually don't play the class. Here we have to find two heroes that gonna drop their pheromones, so I can open the Queen's Lair. One of them is a fire based, the other one is a poison based. The most lucky thing that can happen, they spawn next to each other, but this time it's not like this. Another very good piece of Darmpetrian Slicer. As you can see, my experience bar ramping. This is a very good area if you want to grab some passive experience. Usually I don't recommend this. Quests and stuff's much more rewardable than grinding. Especially these early levels, you don't gonna get anything useful. And apart, on top of that, this is not humanoids, so they're gonna drop some basic stuff. And you're not gonna make much profit of this place, but still a very good place for experience. Here is the secret area. Sometimes this here is blocked, all depends on the map, but this time we got lucky. And this is another vitality damage dense area. You have to be careful. Also this ground deals so much damage, usually I skip it. And after all the pulse fades off, I'm gonna come back and loot. You don't have to loot straight away. You can focus on Golus and come back later. This is one of the best rings in the game that you can find. Usually is a top pick in the league. It's not for our class, but still rolls as a warped of Arcane Blaze, which is basically better than my... I'll believe it's time to drop the Slit Primal ring, probably. We got another 2 devotions. That means I am very close to unlock my proc. And I'm gonna breathe a little bit better if I have some circuit breaker, because early Spellbinder is not so tanky. Later on is a great class, because you can rotate Mirror and Mark of Torment and Cluster if necessary. Let's deal with the Queen. Another two-phase battle, not so hard if you pay attention. This is poison heavy at the first phase, also comes with a lot of fats. Usually I clear a little bit, I don't like so much stuff to hit me, especially when I'm a caster. And I can focus damage her. She's gonna be quite high level, because we are not supposed to be here that early usually. You have to take this quest as a follow-up, but usually Grim Dawn supports this mechanic that you can take most of the quest without talk to any of the NPCs around the map. Second phase is a Pierce and Physical Heavy. She's gonna spawn Meteor Showers, which is one of the most dangerous mechanics in the game, because if you get hit by 2 or 3 of those, it can be very bad for you. Second phase, she's not so tanky. I can burst her down. She's gonna drop a nice Venom Funk of Corrosion. Why all the good stuff drop when I don't play the class? This is a dream if you play a basically Acid Retaliation Sentinel. This claw is a masterpiece for leveling. But this is luck of the draw, I think. We have to play with all the garbage that I found along the way. I have to think about upgrade my relic for something better, maybe Fervor. I have to check the options that I have. I think Spectre is a good relic as well. I think Rover sell this. Which reminds me, I'm pretty close. I have to kill a couple of undeads, which I'm gonna do probably. But first I'm gonna take down Amalgamation. This boss gonna drop a Ether damage offhand. I'm gonna use it for a couple of levels before I found my global. I'm gonna clear a little bit. I am far behind with the experience. 30 level at this point is quite low. Here, very straightforward battle, you have to pay attention. Amalgamation don't hurt in a melee range that much, you don't have to stay on the pulse, and you have to dodge the Sunder. She's gonna do a couple of attacks in a row. You can take distance, this is a very slow boss. If you have good resistances to Ether, you're gonna be okay. Mine's almost capped, so there is a treasure room, not very useful. I didn't find anything useful honestly here. We're gonna bring some quests back. This is friendly of Homestead, not bad at all.
There was much I see my scouts have terror.
Just the person. There are two other groups of survivors.
Now we have to pick a faction. But we are necromancers, so we can't pick Kaiman's Chosen. A little bit lore behind Kaiman's Chosen, they are followers of the Empyrean. Empyrean is one of the three sons of Katon. Katon is basically the All-Father God. He created the world using his own blood. And he creates his three sons by himself. That's Empyrean, Ulzin, and Korvac. Unfortunately, his sons, in a lust for power, they kill him. And the final blow, this is a Katon, Dying God, this constellation here. And the final blow comes from his favorite son, that was Empyrean. And Empyrean backstabbed him with his spear. This is Spear of the Heavens. This is the spear that did the final blow. And basically the three gods take over the world for a while. Until they disappeared at some point. And Katon is still banished. He is not dead. But in terms to recover, he needs all of his blood, or at least a big percentage of his blood to recover and come back to the world. But I'm gonna focus on this blood thing later when we face the cultists. From now on, usually I don't like to go straight away to Blood Grove. I prefer Pine Barrens, catch up some levels. For now my damage seems okay, but probably I'm gonna max out. Let's max out Vanetis, so to be sure I did it. And we're gonna pick up the orders of Dead's Vigil. Dead's Vigil, they are followers of the Uruburuk, the most powerful necromancer in world of Karn. Nothing special, they just fight against the cultists. Nobody wants either Ethereals to come back or Katon to come back, because this is gonna be a carnage for the world. Katon, according to recover his full power, is gonna kill everything alive. So this is not ideal moment for all of the living creatures in this fantasy world. But let's proceed to Pine Barrens. This is usually my route. I do left part of Homestead. After that I do Pine Barrens. I check my reputation, so I can get few respected ones, and I'll start buying some stuff when I accumulate enough currency. For example, I have to buy runestones. Now we have to watch out for our off-hunt. So this is a Ember clan. I don't need the Ember clan, I need the Stone clan. And of course we don't have dynamites. But Homestead Blacksmith is the first one that can craft this for us. So let's check if we have some shards first. We don't have any, so we have to craft. I'm gonna craft 3 and I'm gonna flip them for dynamites. And now I have 11. That's a good start. Also, it's time for me to stop and upgrade my gear. My gear is absolutely trash at the moment, apart from few pieces. But Pine Barrens is not so scary. But definitely before Blood Growth, my advice as a hardcore player is check your gear. Upgrade whatever you can before you approach. Blood Grove is a nasty and brutal place. One of the most hardest area in the Grimdown. Because now I don't need a single point in my chaos resistance. But at Blood Grove I need cap. Our damage is quite nice. Consumption. Actually, I didn't saw that. I dropped Twilight Veil. This is hands down probably the best weapon that you can find at this level range for a Ether Panetti. It has Ether damage and casting speed and 1 to Arcanist. Everything that I actually need. Definitely I'm gonna swap Kyrian for this one. Beautiful, beautiful find. Actually, I'm gonna check what I have. This is a random items. I'm definitely not gonna need them. I'm gonna check really quick the gloves. Trash. This is a trash armor. Pretty trash gloves. A trash belt. This is a summon boots. I don't need them. This is a very bad. I mean, this version of this item is a very bad. There is a boost ones. But yeah, for now, nothing special. This is a good offhand. Comes with a chaos resistance, which I definitely need. Not right now, but I'm gonna keep it. Usually I'm plan to farm here a little bit until I drop my actual offhand. This is gonna boost my damage significantly. Here it's not necessary to talk with the NPCs, but this is another squad from the Black Legion. They were sent here to deal with all the dangerous monsters. And this is one of the best quest lines in the game, because you basically have to hunt a few bosses. 4 in total. Compared to other quest line, this one is a very nice one. And this is the Stone Clan. These guys, their shamans can drop what I need. So every single Stone Clan user, I have to kill it. This is a Ember Clan. And this is of the Ether. I have to wait level 35 unfortunately, but this gives me everything that I ever need to start deal damage. It comes with a crit damage multiplier, which is a very rare on items. Massive ether, massive elemental damage. I'm still a hybrid until I unlock Coven. Less energy, 36% crit damage. This is a dream for every Panetti user. Of course, if I am full elemental, I benefit more. But even after the conversions, I'm gonna be convert anyways this elemental damage at some point. But this gonna increase my damage by a lot. The most dangerous boss here is actually the first one that you're gonna encounter. This is Mogara. She possesses a Sunder ability and she is a massive physical damage dealer. You never underestimate her. I see a very hard hits from her sometimes. This totem is very dangerous as well. He's gonna summon trolls and shamblers. But see totem, click totem. At this point I'm confident in my build. Early on I'm not that, because usually Panetti starts very slow. Because you don't have so much casting speed like I have now. Another pretty much useless one. But MI sells quite nice on the market. You have to dodge the Sunder and pretty much you're gonna be fine. She's a swift mob, so she deals damage in a short period of time. You have to be extremely careful. This is not bad generic belt, but I need something better. Here we look for an entrance that's not actually pointed at the map. This is a secret entrance and this is gonna lead us to the next two bosses instead of we going in out. And this is the one. There is a couple of spawn locations in a triangle shape, so you have to look for it a little bit. Sometimes I found it very quick like today. Sometimes I just can't see it because angle of my camera. Grim Down is totally doable without rotating the camera, that's why I don't use it. Usually this confuse the beginner players, even some veterans. That's why I prefer to not use it. And here is a old Blood Blare. Our damage is already very good. There is a small treasure room here. There is usually a chest and couple of corpses. I'm gonna do some shopping, that's why I pick everything. Level 35 is a very important. Good stuff start to pop up on the shops. So what we can do from now on? We're gonna take it first, Reckless Power, but later on I'm definitely gonna flip that for a Harbinger of Soul. But for now I'm much closer to this exclusive than this one. But I'm gonna do again 2 points in the Mastery, 1 in a Spectral Wrath. I have to start pick up some Resistance Shred. I'm gonna approach harder content and it's good to have some solid damage. Here is the moment that I can get a nice amulet for myself. And Goliaths drop 1 to Arcanist Amulet. It's a vitality base, but it's gonna be handy. And here is where I can pick finally my proc. Usually Arcane Wheel is gonna proc this better. It's gonna proc together with Arcane Wheel. And in this way, every time I drop below certain percentage, Chariot's gonna kick in and top me up. This is gonna prevent random one-shots. Keep that in mind when you pick your devotions. Giant and a Chariot is best to be used, of course, if you have this as a skill, like Blast Shield, Arcane Wheel, Resilience, that type of skill. But even if you leave it on a aura, it's gonna be okay. Just is kinda waste if you possess any of those skills to not use it. Here is another devotion. A very easy one. Very cheap. Grenadier Shoulder Guards, one of the most useless shoulder guards in the game. Usually I don't mess up with Rutnik, especially with such a bad ether resistance, but I'm gonna see if he's gonna drop me the helm, or at least a better version of these shoulder guards. Also I need a couple of undead kills for my reputation with the rovers, so this is ideal moment. Rutnik is one of the Ascendant Cronley's lieutenants. This guy here, he's very dangerous, don't underestimate him. This guy hurts, really hurts. He disengage. He's pretty tough. As you can see, his damage ramping. No che. Bad luck for us. Usually it's not pointed at the GRIMTOOLS, but he can drop the helm and the shoulders on a rare occasions, but I have to give it a shot. Also, he is a nice reputation to Devil's Crossing as well. In most playthroughs I skip this boss, it's quite annoying to reach the point when you have to kill him, but I am very far behind with the experience. I rush a little bit too much. So, as much as I don't want to, I have to deal with this. because it's almost a half level. Also plenty of stone clan, sorry, here, so I can find another, maybe a lower level stone effigy. Let's check the mutator. Vengeful. This is kinda brutal, but this guy is a bleeding user, so not big deal. We have to just be careful. And this is where Panetti shines. Such a good density, one cast and all the damage shotguns between them. This guy is quite slow, so be sure you snipe them from afar. Here, very important moment, always clear all the odds, because they're gonna heal the boss and you don't want to, because he's one of the most tankiest ones. Also, don't stay on top of the traps. Randomly he's gonna activate it and you're gonna take much more damage. In terms of burst, he's not very scary, just he's super tanky. One shot chest, a proper treasure room, a nice reputation to Homestead, another couple of chests. This is actually a very profitable encounter in terms of money. Let's check my reputations really quick. Homestead, I'm close. I have to kill a few beasts and I have to kill few undeads. Okay, level 33. Again, 2 points mastery, 1 point spectral rat for the minus ether resistance. Now what we can do, first I'm gonna sell some stuff.
Come see what's left of my wares.
This is not bad amulet, I'm gonna keep it. Medal, sorry. It's time to change my amulet for a better one, but it's gonna be really hard to get rid of all this piercing resistance. But I have to do it. And actually, I don't care much about
Take a look, shall we? Goodbye for now.
I have to change the medal at any, but I'm gonna get rid of a lot of pierce resistance again, which is not ideal.
See you around.
Deadbringer. This is actually not bad armor. It's gonna comes with a conversion. It's gonna help me a lot, but my poison resistance not quite good. Usually is a better than what I have currently. But I'm gonna keep the resistance for now. This is a bad row, this is another bad row.
See you around.
But at least we start to picking up some arcanist stuff.
Tinkering is my specialty.
Ah, there you are. Come.
This one guy some explosive, I'm gonna give them. Easy experience. And I think I have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna deal with the Steps of Torment quest. Just to pick the reputation. We start to deal damage. I can finish the and what I need for this one, I need blue. So definitely next one's gonna be probably Viper. I don't benefit much, but I need the colors from Viper. Also Viper comes with offensive ability, which is always nice. We solve partially our vitality resistance problems, but still I have to think about chaos, which is not easy task at this point. But I'm gonna take 11 from here, that's gonna put me at the 35 mark. And probably I'm gonna be forced to use ointment as well. I have to hit respected with Homestead so I can buy their stuff. They have a boots that gonna fix my resistance problems. And they got some okay pair of gloves if I'm low on offensive ability. I don't like to mess up with Zarzulan. His name is very hard to pronounce, but the High Priest from Steps of Torment. As I said, this place is built to contain all the necromancers when Arkovian elders decide to get rid of them. But Uruburuk curse everybody, so they turn up in undeads. Because Arkovian elders was lust for power and immortality, and they decide to use Uruburuk skills instead of kill him. But they did a huge mistake. You never underestimate the most powerful necromancer, no matter what, and they did it. And now curse stays forever. Here at Misery there is a free devotion shrine. Not free because desecrated, but still. Every single dungeon have one devotion. But I hate dungeoning during normal. Honestly, I hate to do dungeons even in ultimate. On the vanilla game it's pretty useless way to farm. I do dungeons only if I need some MI item, which I actually need this time. I have to run Ancient Growth. This is one of the most annoying devotions because spawn mobs behind the wall. Fabric of Reality is a very nice buff to ether damage, so I'm gonna grab 1 point for now. Still my source of damage is mainly elemental. Here is one of the most tedious fights. Usually you have to be very careful. This guy damage ramping, you have to move constantly. You don't want to get hit by a couple of his mechanics. He plays a lot of dot and he uses Curse of Frailty as well. Also he's gonna spawn a healers. Be sure you one-shot them immediately and constantly move. Don't give him a opener's chance to damage you with few or more attacks and you're gonna be okay. Standing in one place is gonna bring you a lot of troubles. I'm not gonna proceed forward, it's completely unnecessary. I'm gonna check what I have, what I can sell and what I can buy. Usually I like to hit level 35 so I can shopping.
Come see what's left of my wares.
Chaos Ointment, that's a precious for us. I have some vitality problems, so I'm gonna pick this one as well. And it's for the next one I have to swap for this armor. I need to top up Chaos. Scrap's always nice. And of course I'm gonna grab this medal as well.
Put it to good use.
And this is usually how you cap your resistance before hard encounters. Probably off recording I'm gonna hit level 35 because I don't want to basically make a video how I just grind for level. I rush way too much, so I end up one level under the requirements for shop basically
I'll give you a good price.
these items. So probably actually I have to buy this one. This one is everything that I need. I did a mistake, but that's okay. Anyways, I don't have level for this. But I'm gonna end up the episode here. Thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next one.